post-Vietnam, and all of a sudden you're ranking ROTC in your town, and you are talking to General Westmoreland, and he starts extolling the virtues of West Point to you. You think it's entirely feasible that you might think, hey, he's offering me, he's encouraging me to go, and look, he told me that they're going to cover the cost. It's a scholarship in my world. You can see this happening.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's what if I were talking to anybody that area, and even today, I would tell them that I would call it a scholarship because that's what they would understand if they were pursuing college. And I'm sure Westmoreland was a very bright man. He put it down in language where Dr. Carson could understand it, and that's the way I would explain it.
Okay, so what we have here, Jim, thanks for the call. What we have here is a political story essentially saying that Ben Carson was never offered a scholarship at West Point and never applied for admission. Well, Carson never said he applied for admission. It seems that what this is all circling around is Carson's assertion that the Army saw him. Here's Westmoreland. Hey, man, you're great. We want you to come to West Point, 4-year scholarship, man. You're the best. We want you. He writes about that experience. And then they go to West. No, we can't find a record of Ben Carson here. In fact, he never applied. It was never extended an invitation. So the exaggeration is, I guess, that Carson writes he was extended an invitation, never accepted it, never acted on it, but that they offered him a scholarship. And so what we're discussing here is, okay, how could he have been talking to Westmoreland and maybe understood that to be what Westmoreland's saying? We have two people, a Naval Academy grad and a West Point grad, have said they can believe exactly Carson's version of the story. And if you don't know that everybody gets a scholarship at the naval or military academies, then it might sound like a huge deal to you. So, I mean, I can go through the political story again. It's clear what they're trying to do. By the way, this is not appearing in a vacuum today. Grab audio soundbite number 3. This is a montage just this morning from ABC, CBS, NBC, and their attempts here to undermine Ben Carson, his character, his personality, and the assertions he's made in his book.
New accusations claiming he made up part of his compelling life story.
He is taking hits about whether he's made up part of his life story. Carson acknowledges using fictitious names in the stories he told about his past.
Meanwhile, Carson's coming under new scrutiny for views of history, defending these past comments on the pyramids of Egypt.
He still believes what he said in this 1998 speech, that the pyramids were built to house grain.
His 1998 remarks that the Egyptian pyramids were built by Joseph to store grain.
Carson defended his lack of political experience, claiming every signer of the Declaration of Independence had no elected office experience. Not true. Another unorthodox move. His campaign releasing this rap ad, launching a radio ad complete with a rap. It's pretty catchy, but that's not actually Carson rapping right there.
And Carson fired back, calling this a garbage smear campaign. This is last night on the Kelly File. Megyn Kelly said, look, I know you've said this feels like a witch hunt, what's happening over CNN, but let me ask you, flat out, whether you stand by the claim as a young man, as a 14-year-old boy, that you attempted to stab another boy and attacked your mother with a hammer.
Those claims are absolutely true. I never use the true names of people in books, to protect the innocent. That's something that people have done for decades, for centuries. The person that I tried to stab, I talked to today, said would they want to be revealed? They were not anxious to be revealed. And it was a close relative of mine, and I didn't want to put their lives under the spotlight. This is something that I've decided to do. None of those people decided that they wanted to do this, and the media is ruthless. So I would say to the people of America, do you think I'm a pathological liar like CNN does?
Next question, just to clarify, you're revealing tonight that the person you attempted to stab unsuccessfully, a story you've told many, many times, was a close relative in your family.
It was a close relative in my family. I really don't want to get into the details of who that person was. But also, I want to point out how silly the CNN investigation is. When I would have flashes of temper, it would only be the people who were directly involved. And as far as the episode in junior high is concerned, none of those people that they talked to knew about what was going on at Hunter Junior High School. It's a smear campaign, but, you know, I'm not going to play that game with them. They can do it all they want. This is just garbage.
And there's another bite that I don't have time to squeeze in now, but it's Carson really reading the riot act to Allison Camerata at CNN this morning on New Day. So this Politico story about the fabrication, exaggeration of the whole West Point story is not happening in a vacuum, which adds even more evidence to my charge that what we have here is a coordinated effort. And the Politico story clearly attempting to convince people that Carson has lied about much, much more than he has ever asserted or even exaggerated. Take a quick time out and be back.
The most trusted name in talk radio.
This is why I don't do the mainstream media right there. Perfect example.